Mr. Craig, how are you?
I'm fantastic, Mr. Zane. How are you doing?
Never better. Thank you. Thank you for doing this.
Are you related to Billy Zane by any chance?
No, I get that. There's an old school bodybuilder by the name of Frank Zane, 70s and 80s.
That's you?
No, I wish. He's and I was back in the day, I was really into lifting weights. I was like, I like that guy Frank Zane. And then I was going to my first radio job, and I was like, I think that's gonna, because my real last name is Zaitunian. This beautiful,
Oh, okay.
beautiful Armenian name. Why wouldn't I stick with that? You know?
I wonder if Billy Zane's real name is Zartunian. I'll have
Can
to
you
ask him
imagine?
that.
You're actually friends with Billy Zane?
Well, he auditioned for me. I was casting a movie called Totally Baked,
Right.
and I met him. First time I met him, that was really weird. It was after that movie Dead Calm. I had just seen it, and he played one of the most evil people I've ever seen in my life. Poor Nicole Kidman was terrorized, and so was I. And literally 2 days later, I went to my friend's house, and he was at the door, like one of the first guests. I went, ah! I scared. That's so weird about being in Hollywood. You have situations like that. And then the next thing I know, he's in my living room auditioning for my pot movie.
I have a prediction that of all the things you do in show business, and we'll talk about what as much as we can in the time that we have together, that you love stand-up the most.
Wow, I thought you were going a different direction.
No.
You are incorrect.
No? Okay, damn it. Okay. The reason why I said that was because, not everybody will come to the various spots in Michigan and work as much as you work. In small towns, big towns, you do it all. I mean, you go all over the place. And I thought to myself, somebody's really gotta spend a lot of time doing that. I thought perhaps that was your number one love.
Well, don't get me wrong. It's the number one thing I do the best. And and it's the number one moneymaker since high school. I've been doing it since high school, and I've got the craft down. I put in my more than 10,000 hours to become an expert. But if you're asking me what I love to do, what I passion for, the only problem with stand-up is it's solo. Like, I'm coming to Michigan, it's solo all week. I mean, my friend Sarah Halstead's opening for me, but that's about it. And I love producing. I like producing television and film. I've got a few shows out now. Putting that together, watching people's faces, creating, co-creating, enjoying that they have a job, that I'm putting people to work, and we're doing it together in unison. And I mean, that is just gold to me. And then I don't need audiences for that approval. You know what I mean? Like, I've been through that already. I get standing ovations and stuff like that. So that part of my life is kind of like, yeah, okay, you did that. So now I look forward to more ventures of where I can have other people involved. But I do love stand-up. I do love the connection with the audience and, causing them to laugh, which is this is unfortunate about watching the news so much. We're the last. I mean, they're trying to get rid of us. The comedians. We're the truth tellers.
Yeah.
They're all worried about our language. I said, you think I'm gonna mess up your kid? Look, because I've dropped an F-bomb, and look what they're seeing on television. They're seeing real bombs and real deaths and all destruction, and they're desensitized that you think I'm gonna affect them. And so it just bothers me. I'd love to shift the paradigm here and have people have a better understanding that comedians are the essential workers of the world that are just misunderstood, or laughter being the best medicine. I have an organization called Laughter Heals, and that's another thing I'm passionate about, is the awareness of this power that we possess, this healing mechanism that we have within us. It just isn't talked about enough. That's why I come on podcasts, because they won't have you on television where they go, let's go to the commercial with 19 drugs with 100 side effects.
Right on. And it's interesting. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to step on you, but it isn't often you get to talk to somebody who's been in show business doing comedy for because you started in 1980. You have seen it all. Craig.
Yeah.
And I if you could, going back to when you first started, was it like right away you got a taste, a sense, that rush of when people like what you're doing? Is that what hooked you in?
You're really saying it exactly. It's the taste is the crack or whatever drug of choice you have. I mean, it was the first laugh. I mean, I had gotten laughs my whole life. I mean, that's how I got into comedy. I mean, my life started as a comedy tragedy. My dad left when I was born. I'm like, something I said, wah, he's gone. You know, it was like, so right out of the gate, I'm a comedian. So I didn't have a choice. And, you know, getting out of fights in Philadelphia, I was 5'1", 92 pounds. And, you know, and comedy just really worked. And I would see how it make people feel better. It's a magnetic draw, you know, that you have when you're really good at making people laugh. So that connection happened. Now, of course, I can look back at it and identify it as that. At the time, I'm going, oh, I'm going to get laid, you know,
yeah.
whatever it is. But, you know, the objectives just have shifted through growth and things and experiences. And I really still love to have people come up to me after shows and go, I normally don't laugh. Or I feel like saying, that's very sad, you know, but they go, but you made me laugh. And I'm going, oh, great, you know. So, but we all need to do that more, you know, and go to comedy shows and fill it up, you know.
Right,
I mean,
man.
You're going to build your immune system. And so it's going to be built, and your stress will be relieved. This is all for sure, by the way. This is all clinically proven by people. Say, look at science. Yeah, this is scientific proof that, and it's just misunderstood. It's diminished. And, you know, I'm here to be Johnny Laughter Seed and spread the word. And I'm coming to Michigan for the first time in that part of Michigan in a long time, probably since the 80s.
You are going to be in West Michigan. The first room is at Spectrum Lanes. They really did a nice job with that place. It is a beautiful, beautiful house. And you're going to love it there. And then
I just got off the phone with Michelle McCormick. She's an old friend from
oh my God
radio, and she's by the way, I've toured. I've done every show from Howard Stern to Bob and Tom to Rick Dees, all of them, right? Everything, every radio show. She's truly one of the best I've ever found in radio. She's used to have a talk show in Detroit.
Yeah.
So I just talked to her a few minutes ago, and she told me all these rooms that I'm playing are really cool rooms.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you have that, and then you're going to be at Back Alley in Muskegon, which is a gigantic facility. So the guy who runs all this is Don Veltman, who booked you, and he's a former professional bowler. So he owns a bowling alley up north, and he's just got this kind of like vibe. And he started booking on his own because he started to have these little back alley comedy clubs in all these different locations. So he just started booking on his own, and I see he's just got some great names. And I
had no idea that was his background. I said I didn't know it. I just saw this booking come in. I said, sure. I have a new sister who lives in Michigan, and I wanted to see her. I say she's a new sister. My dad was a cult leader, and he had like this harem of women, and one of the women kind of escaped, and she, had this kid that's basically my sister, but we never were in touch until about 6 years ago. She said, "Are you?
Wait a minute. This is true? Are you BSing me?"
No. This is totally true. She goes, "Are you?" He ran mule rides to feed the cult of all 14 women, and they left for Michigan. They ended up in Michigan. She and her mom, and I never knew her, but I knew of her, and she contacted me and she says, "Is your dad Pocono Adventure Zone mules?" And I go, "Yep, same dad." You're not going to find much.
Wow.
Not going to find that on people's profile very often.
That is exceptional.
So I want to come see her, and it's one of the reasons I booked it. The last time I did it, I don't know Michigan, and I said, "Hey, I'm going to be in Michigan." It was right. It was like the top of the mitten, and she's down at the thumb.
Okay.
So this time I'll get to see her. She's coming to the show on Friday and stuff. So I'm jazzed about that.
That's exciting, Michelle. I work with her. She's extremely talented, and
yes.
What's interesting is on the show that I used at Cumulus, the show that she's on, she's the alpha. I mean, she's the main draw.
Yeah.
I mean, she's the comedy of the show, and the guy that she's on with thinks he is, but he's not. Michelle's the funny one of the group. And so there's a little bit of a dynamic of, Michelle's super funny and dude is a little insecure. Okay. But somehow it works. And Michelle's, she's been in West Michigan forever. So that's all good. And
she's a pro, and we've had wonderful experiences where I've been her co-host before, like a sub co-host. I mean, so I saw that she's area code 616, and I contacted her. She said, "What? You're coming here?" And so I was so excited. I'll be on her show, and she's calling
Good.
some other people to go on there because I'm really not that familiar with the area, and they're not familiar with me. So I'm really hoping that we can pack it out and have a great time. And
well, that's nice. I'm glad she's getting behind the show because a lot of people listen to her radio show, so that would be exceptional. If you talk to her, tell her Eric Zane said hello. So
I will. Cool. I just talked to her a few minutes ago. I'm going to talk to her again. But yeah, absolutely. I'm really excited about. You going to come to the show too?
Absolutely. In fact, I'm going to figure out exactly when, because you're Thursday you're at Spectrum. Friday you're at Billy's Lounge in Grand Rapids.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that might be the show that I go to. I might hang out with Michelle.
Oh, and then I'm going to be at a bowling lane. Is that what I'm hearing?
Correct. Thursday's a bowling alley. Friday is lounge. And then Saturday it's a room adjacent to the facility in Muskegon, Michigan.
I played that. I've already played that room. Yeah. I'm playing 2 bowling alleys. I have a bit in my act about teaching my kids how to bowl to get them off of computers.
Oh, good.
And how wussified they are in this society now. I said, gutter guards. They have gutter guards, so Skylar doesn't get her gutter to have issues for the rest of his life. I said, here's a 16-pound ball. Build some muscle up, little worm remote fingers. And how about shoes been worn by 900 people, and they're cleaned by an aerosol poisonous gas cloud. It gets in your lungs so you can develop some immunity, bubble boy. I got a strike. I said, no, you didn't. Well, 4 bumpers. That is a 0. And mark it down with a pencil. Learn how to add without a calculator, like your dad did.
That's great. That's great. You're right. Nobody knows how to keep score in bowling. Nobody knows how to do that.
That's how I learned math. I learned math. I mean, I didn't learn algebra, but I learned math through bowling scores.
What about balancing a checkbook? I still know how to do that. No one knows how. No one bothers. There's no point to it anymore.
I never even thought about that. Oh, here's another one: is we all learn how to drive on a stick shift. Now, if you want to protect your car from being stolen, just get a stick shift, because no millennial, they'll walk in that car and go, "Oh my God, this dude's got low jack." That's low jack to them now.
Right.
There's no one who drives. They can't drive a stick. My son can't even put it in reverse without a camera.
Right. To stall it out. That's fantastic. With how much comedy that you have written over the years, Craig, do you find yourself to me, you remind me of an artist who, when you're getting set to do your show, you might have a current number of things that you can obviously do that you may have just written, but do you ever find yourself I think I'm going to ditch that because I got something that applies to the moment that I just had with this person in the audience? You've kind of you have that fluidity in your show, correct?
Absolutely. I mean, there's a general, bullet pointed outline of places I can go. Plus I have literally hours of material. So it's like picking a set list. I mean, you can compare it to musicians. Unfortunately, they can't change their lyrics. You have your best of songs and stuff. I have this character, the Love Master. I keep changing lines all the time. I even have COVID Love Master lines. But, you go see Springsteen, you're not going to hear, "Baby, I'm born to trot. I'm born to jog today." He's got to do the lyrics that they're going to sing along with. So yeah, I mean, it is fluid, and it's based on every bit of my act. What I love about it is all based on my experiences. So nobody can politically correct me, because this is me. This isn't my opinion. These are things that have happened. You can't deny them. You can't deny my reality. And, like you were saying, is that true about your cult leader father? You can't be mad that I had a cult leader father.
No.
I mean, it's you're not going to, cancel culture me because I had a dad with a harem of women. He's sexist. No, yeah, he was a sexist. I mean, what are we going to do? I'm just describing things the way they are, and people really relate to it. I'm just really connecting. And that's what I think we need more of, it's that ethereal connection that we have.
Yep.
And it's so lost right now as people are just battling for their territories and their tribalism that's going on right now, especially during this COVID, this scary time. People are just going in all these lanes, and they're forgetting, there's a whole other connected lane in the middle somewhere. You don't have to be part of one tribe or the other and think that the other one should be demeaned or diminished. And that's what's really unfortunate. Comedians, we're right there to expose all the sides. We're there to we're the curtain pullers. Tell the truth. Let's share the truth. Let's be okay with the truth. Let's have fun. making fun of ourselves. And I always say, take laughter seriously.
Sure, sure. What do you? Okay. So you kind of touched on cancel culture, and I kind of am like, I think what's really gotten alarming is there was the guy who was the producer of Jeopardy, Mike Richards, and he was joking on his podcast,
right,
about who cares what. But
was it years ago?
It was years ago. And
right. That's ridiculous.
A blog hunted it down, poured over the episodes, listened to them. This is a career hit that took place. Loses the gig. Sony fires him. He's done. And he was screwing around the way everybody in the world does. It just so happened. And then nobody listened to the podcast. And he made the mistake of it was still available. Hey, you know what? Who cares about whether he was good or bad at it? This man's career has ended. And that's disgusting to me.
My friend and neighbor, Chris Harrison of The Bachelor, he had one little interview and just, kind of like took it a different way. He was trying to be open. He is, what I always say is it's about your intent. Look, if you're a racist prick, we know it, but you don't have to dig, it. It's who you are. It's who you are. When you start seeing people trying to, condemn, the Black Lives Matter or whatever it is, when it's like, well, why would you? Why don't you just listen? You know what I mean? So why you would is because you have that intent. So my intent is to listen to everybody. And because it's a global thing. We're involved, ironically, a global pandemic. We're also involved in a global solution. So what's the solution? The only one is to come together. And when you start picking people apart, by the way, talk about glass houses, these people that are the debunkers and things, and people that are picking things, they are guilty as worse usually, and they're projecting their own crap onto someone else. That's what, if you break this down, that's all it is. It's a projection of stuff that you're not identifying in yourself. So, why don't you just chill it out, and go to someone privately and say, hey, this offended me. Why do you have to bring it public? Because you are a virtue signaler. You want to look like the good person. You want to look like the person who's like exposing this thing. Well, what does that make you? You know what I mean? Are you proud of that? Because you could go to that person and he's going to hear a much better lesson than this shaming thing and finger pointing and blaming, discovering something from the past. We all have a past. I'm glad I'm not as famous as I used to be. I got famous in the pre-cancel culture social media era.
Okay.
I got famous in the postcards on telephone poles era. So I can imagine. I did terrible things. You go back to my teens. I should be in prison. But Tim Allen wouldn't have a career.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
There would be no Home Improvement. No all those years and all those movies, and no, voice of, Buzz Lightyear. If they went with, he was literally in prison. He wouldn't be Michigan's finest these days. They would have taken him down. And it's the case with everybody has something that we all must deal with. But how we deal with it, it's a personal choice, and it's not up to you to put that on steroids. So the guy from Jeopardy, just pull him aside and then we're all doing these apologies. Fine. Make it, if you find it necessary to apologize, if that cleans your side of the street, you should do that. But it shouldn't be somebody forcing it because you want to make them feel better. And by the way, they're not walking away going, apology accepted. That's fantastic. Great. You had a transformation. No, they're going to go after the next person.
I think we need to start to get to a point. Like, let's just say in this fantasy world, Mike Richards went in front of the camera and said, yeah, I'm not sorry for that. And you're just going to have to live with it. And if then Sony said, yeah, hey, don't worry about it. This is going to die down. I'm glad you said that. And actually somebody showed some balls and said, yeah, you're just going to have to get over it. I would love to see that start to be the norm, because the more that this happens to the Mike Richards of the world, just like you indicated, they feel more emboldened. They're going to go after the next person, and it's going to continue to become a problem.
Well, you're right, though. You talked about a corporation. These corporations have no balls. Really, do they really believe That's because somebody discovered something in this guy's past where he floated something out there that might have been a little offensive. Do they really think that there's going to be this mass protest and people are not going to tune? I'm not tuning into that guy from 1994 who said something inappropriate. No, there's nobody out there that's going to change their viewing habits because of that. If anything, if they had the balls, there'd be more people that go, that's a show that, you know, they're out of the box thinkers now. I would watch the show more, and because I haven't seen it in a while. I was a big Alex Trebek fan, loved the show. I've actually been an answer on the show, which is really like one of my flattering moments of the career.
Nice.
It wasn't for a good thing that I did, but still, I was the co-host of the Magic Johnson show, and that was a Jeopardy answer.
Of course.
I was also an answer on Family Feud. And it got 0.
Oh my God! Well, hey, you know what? That's something to be proud of. You are part of the culture of those shows, and not everybody can say that.
Right? It's symbolic of me, though. It's like Magic Johnson was a monumental failure, that show, and yet it got me on Jeopardy. You know what I mean? And then I was on national television. So it's like it's the balance of life. I mean, there it is in an instant. Like, here I'm an answer. Survey says. The Love Master, that, you know, it's my character. That's pretty cool. And then how many people? 0. You know,
that's funny. That's funny.
But I love it because I teach humor now. I'm teaching courses. As a matter of fact, I have a client tomorrow. And I teach people how to alchemize their own humor and turn it into gold, like how that can really command a room, a better speaker. You're better with your employees, you're better spouse, partner. Everything is better with a sense of humor. So I teach this now, how to develop your own sense of humor and really dig down and find how you can share your own experiences. But a lot of what I teach is about that humility. Is like, if you keep acting like you're a certain way, I can guarantee you'll never be happy. When you keep going with the image of what it looks like and how you think other people perceive you, you cannot be happy, I assure you. So if you're listening to this right now or watching this, take my word for it. I have done the other. I've done every time I go for my image and what things look like and my resume and my Emmys and all this stuff. You know, I have Emmys and I won Comedian of the Year American Comedy Award. You know, my most valuable trophy is the Horse's Ass Award I won at my ex-wife's family reunion. That says it all. I have that trophy as a head of the Comedian of the Year. And to me, that is life. Is if you look at yourself like you're something, they're always going to take you down too. Every champion someday has to retire. Every champion gets injured. Every champion loses more than a step. Some of them can't even walk. I mean, it's literally life. And
maybe not Tom Brady. Maybe not Tom Brady.
My God, that guy is unbelievable, and I want to hate him. I want to hate.
Sorry about that. Oops.
Oh, you there?
Yep,
Sorry,
I'm still here. That. No worries. I was just going to say 5 more touchdowns for that guy last night.
You know, and it's not even about that for him. It's like all the other stuff. It's like, can you be any more good looking? He was a geek growing up. And can you be any more good looking? Can you have a hotter wife and have a hotter ex? You know, we'll all take the ex. Plus, she's probably got a nice little money coming in. But I mean, this guy, he has commercials, endorsements, everything. He's got everything. And then he goes from the Patriots. So you're going, it's Belichick. And he wins a championship with another team. Yeah, it's insanity. It's like, how good can it be? But you know what? Here's what I do like about it. And I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan.
Right on.
And he beat us in the Super Bowl. I went to the Super Bowl, and he beat us. And we beat them too, by the way.
Right.
But there was a great pleasure in beating the good looking guy. It always helps.
There was a time. I'm sorry, you were gonna finish your thought. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that there was a time that my Detroit Lions. I'm a Detroit Lions fan, so you know how bad it's been.
I do.
My Detroit Lions. They had a pretty decent year in the mid 1990s, and they went to Philadelphia in the divisional round to take on the Eagles. And you had Rodney Peete as your quarterback.
This is in 1997.
Thereabout.
And we put an ass whooping on you that I will never forget as long as I live.
was horrible. It was. I was like, oh my god.
I have a really special reason for knowing what you're talking. The exact day that it happened.
Yeah.
It was. I'd say it was December like 26th, 1996 or 7. So, right?
It was there.
We should look it up.
Right.
By the way,
I will.
Am I on video still, or did
no? I just see your. It just says CS.
Oh no! I don't know what to do here.
Yeah, that's all right. Even if it's screwed up, it doesn't. I can still hear you.
All right, good. All right. Well, nobody wants to see me anyway. So the reason I know this is my friend Michael Goldberg. He wrote Cool Runnings, Little Giants.
Of course.
And he's a great guy, great friend. He was directing the movie The Love Master with Farrah Fawcett, and we were in Arizona.
Okay.
And all these people, actually, it started in Michigan. The first couple that ever tell me that I helped them conceive a child was in Michigan. They said, we were told we couldn't have a kid. My husband went home. He did The Love Master. Yeah, baby. Yeah. And they laughed and they had a good time. It loosens things up. You're not stressed or trying to have a child. A baby was conceived that time and another time. So I told Golds and his wife, she was ovulating. I said, try The Love Master. We're about to watch that game in a condo. And I said, watch. And I said, I never forget. I went out and got cheesesteaks from a local place in Arizona. And he goes in the other room and does The Love Master. And we destroyed the Lions. And I'll never forget it. That was the day baby Kayla was conceived. She was born 9 months later. And here's the part that's just crazy epiphany. I had an epiphany because he got brain cancer a year and a half after that. And they said, you have 3 months to live.
Oh my
and
God.
That's when I said, well, what value could I give to him? And what, look at, I'm in the laughter medicine business. And I started a program called Laugh for Life at a cancer facility and started Laughter Heals, the nonprofit. I encourage people to donate. Anyway, he showed up at all of it. And he lived 15 years past that 3-month prognosis. 15 years past the doctors, what they said for him. And that tells you, if any of, and so that all happened from that Lions game.
Wow.
So look, you might have had, a big loss. Neither one of them won the Super Bowl that year. So what the hell? And look what you did. You caused a child to be conceived, who just graduated from USC, and she's beautiful and smart. And look at that. All because
that's fantastic
of your stinky Lions.
Well, what's interesting is about that game after one, it was, you know what, Craig, it was actually December 30, 1995. And the
95.
It says that the Lions and the Eagles were tied after one quarter at 7. So I was probably like, oh yeah, here we go. This is going to be a great game. In the second quarter alone, you hung up 31 points.
Yes, it was a beatdown. We declawed the Lions.
Yes.
And funny enough, though, Rodney Peete is still a friend of mine, and he was a Lion as well.
I remember. I remember when we drafted him from USC. I was a huge fan. I know all about it, man.
I will have him listen. I will have him listen to this. We still hang out to this day.
Yes. That is fantastic. Well, I tell you what, and I want to leave with this because there's kind of like a hole in the world right now because just last week, amazingly, Norm Macdonald passed. You have to have all of your years of show business. You have to have a Norm Macdonald story, I'm guessing, right?
I do not.
Really?
Actually.
Oh no! I set you up.
No, you didn't set me up right on that.
Sorry.
One. You must not have got my notes on what to lead me in with.
So sorry, but it's just remarkable.
The only thing I can say about him is universally, loved in comedy. Very unique caricature. He's, you almost laugh just at what comes out of his mouth. He does have one of those cadences, and it's fun. I've certainly met him, but I don't really have the stories. I mean, I've had the good news, bad news about my career is it really flourished on the road as a headliner. But I do 90 minutes myself. I have worked with one opening act, and some of them turned out that Whitney Cummings used to tour with me actually in Michigan as well, and all these, Dave Chappelle opened for me when he was 14. So. Wow. But I don't, unless they're on the way up, I don't really hang with the headliners that much, because I'm either with my family and I'm not going to hang out at the Comedy Store. Oh, it's a family. Oh, yeah, kiss my ass. I'm going to hang with my real family. So I've just approached the career in a different way, and no better, no worse than anyone else. So I don't really have the hang with Norm Macdonald experiences, but certainly all of my peers love him. I love him, you know, and I think he just put a nice mark in comedy, and I think that's a wonderful thing.
You couldn't be more correct, and he will be missed. But I'm looking forward for the weekend with you. I will come and see you Friday. I will see Michelle. I will see you. Now, just so that I'll leave all this in the show notes so that people can look it up. But, of course, on Thursday at Spectrum Lanes, Friday at Billy's Lounge, Saturday in Muskegon at Back Alley Comedy Club. Craig, this has been a pleasure. I really appreciate you taking time and joining me on the show.
Oh, it was my pleasure. And sorry my camera went out, but my buddy called me and I'm on a phone, so I did. I'm not good with technology.
That's okay.
I'm on the information super cul-de-sac. That's where I am.
Hey, you did fine. No, everybody saw your beautiful shining face, so that's good too. But I appreciate you, and I'll see you very soon. Okay.
See you. Yes, come laugh.
All right. Thanks, Craig. Talk to you, buddy.
Bye bye.